I can remember early on when I made the commitment to God to go overseas. I remember saying, I can accept if something happens to me. I can even accept if something happens to my husband, but don't touch my children.
I think when we went to Lesotho, we knew it was going to be a challenge, but we knew that's what God was calling us to, and He called our family to that.
My husband Danny and I serve in Lesotho in southern Africa. He's a pilot mechanic, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 children, Evelyn, who we call Evi, my son Caleb, and my son Jackson.
We've been with Mission Aviation Fellowship in Lesotho, Africa, just a tiny country. I can fly to the other side in about 40 minutes. It's rugged, it's mountainous. We interact with a lot of people that are sick. Officially, Lesotho is the 3rd highest HIV rate in the world. So physically, it is a dying country. It's a country that HIV is just devastating to the people of Lesotho. We use the airplane as a tool to help bring medical care to the mountain Lesotho. We were in Lesotho about a year when my wife was at Bible study and a brick pillar collapsed on a hammock my daughter was on and basically destroyed her left leg from the knee down.
When Evi first had her accident, it was basically just panic, fear. I was in shock. I like any mother would be. Where no matter where you are, it's the same response. We
spent a week in ICU in Southern Africa, and then we medevac to Dallas, to Scottish Rite Children's Hospital in Dallas. Now she has a prosthetic leg. After the accident, there was some question about whether we want to go back.
I felt very betrayed by God. I felt like He had let me down. I did not want to go back to Lesotho.
We felt God was calling us to Lesotho and to continue ministering in Lesotho, so we went back. Oftentimes in a society like Lesotho, if you lose a limb, you're automatically the bottom of society. You're the one begging on the street for food. There was once a little girl named Pulang that was 16 years old in high school. She was a child-headed household, which meant her and her sister were the only remaining family members within her family. And she lost her leg when a school building collapsed on top of her leg and tore her leg off. And basically, Evi and I were the ones that went to the hospital and had to tell her that they couldn't reattach her leg. Evi was running around the hospital room, and eventually I called Evi over and pulled Evi on my lap and pulled Evi's leg off to show her that she had a prosthetic leg. And we told her that we would help her get a prosthetic leg. And through probably 3 to 4 months later, visiting with surgeons and doctors, we were able to help her get a prosthetic leg and help her guarantee that she could walk and not automatically, be limping around on crutches for the rest of her life. So it's been cool to see Evi take her experience and help kids in Lesotho that have a similar experience.
I didn't go back on my own power. I went back because God gave me the strength to do that. And I got to see how God used Evi in the lives of so many people in Lesotho. We've been able to take Evi to minister to a couple of other little girls who've also lost limbs due to illness or to accidents. I told God very early on, if I'm going to get over this feeling of betrayal, you will have to do it in me. And He did. He was very faithful in working in my life, and I've seen Him redeem the situation in so many ways. Just because you are a Christian and just because you are serving God doesn't mean that you are immune to the troubles in this world. The people of Lesotho, they would not be able to receive any medical care. They would not receive the supplies that they receive. They would not be able to leave their mountain villages and go to a hospital when they are seriously ill.
It seems like almost daily we have some sort of medical evacuation. That wouldn't happen without the airplane. People would have to remain in the village or take public transport that could take hours, days to get to a hospital somewhere else.
Because we care for their physical needs, we are sharing the love of Christ with them. And they are much more open to hearing the gospel when they know why we are doing what we do. We love them because Christ loved us first. God has asked us to join Him in helping the Lesotho people. It really isn't a task that He's given us, it's more of a blessing and an invitation.